Okay, as promised, this is an online tutorial in the stuff that we've covered on Group A and Group B for Level 2 in Multimedia. Okay, so start by opening Flash up, and we're going to select ActionScript 2 as the kind of the kind of movie that we want to open. Okay, so first of all we're going to create a button. So in your toolbar down here, select the rectangle tool, okay, and then click and drag to create your button. Now the button I've created was white, so you couldn't see it on the background. So I'm just going to give that a colour, like so. I want to get rid of the outline as well. I don't need an outline for this. Okay, so you notice every time I finish doing anything, I click on the background with my black cursor. So that's to stop anything untoward happening in our movie clips, like other objects getting selected and included in a movie clip, like buttons, animations and stuff. So if we always click on the background and then reselect it before we modify and convert it to symbol. So this is going to be a button, so you select the button and the little drop down there. There might be radio buttons on the version of Flash you're using, and we're going to call this button orange. Okay, so now we've created the button. Let's double click and you'll see inside the button it has 4 frames: up, down, up, over, down and hit. Okay, and these are the 4 different states that there are in the button. So the up is when the button is not being interacted with. The over is when the mouse has rolled over the button. The down is when the mouse has clicked on the button, and the hit is the hit area that makes the button interactive. So we need to put a frame in each one of these. So it always draws the frame of the first shape that we've made on the up state. So in order for us to put the rest of the frames in, if you hit F6, it'll just add the next frames in. Okay, so let's go back up to the over state here, and we want to change the colour, so when the mouse rolls over it, it changes to a different colour. So let's just change the colour of this. Okay, and now when you roll over this, it'll turn from orange to red, so let's just preview this. And there you have it. Okay, so we're going to add some text to this button, so I'm going to do this in a new layer just to make it easier. And select the text tool and then type in button. I'm going to make this text white so it'll show up over the red and the orange. We need to make it a bit bigger as well, don't we? There we go. Okay, and you can use the various type options in the property inspector here, so we can actually make the letter spacing wider to stretch out the letters, just to make your button look nice and professional. Okay, so now we have a button with a rollover and text on it, and we're now going to create a movie clip with an animation inside it, and the animation is going to be a shape tween. So go back to the toolbar, we're going to click the oval tool, and we're going to draw a grey circle. Let's just get rid of the outline off that as well. Okay, so just click and drag on the desktop, and there's our grey circle. Okay, so again, you notice I'm tapping on the background before I select things, just to make sure nothing else has been selected. Because if you put the button inside this movie clip that we're going to create now, you'll get confused, and the button the button will not be able to find the movie clip, etc., etc. Okay, so you click the circle that you've just created, right click on it, and we're going to convert to symbol, and we're going to call this grey circle. Okay, and this is going to be a movie clip. Okay, click OK, and there you have it. And when you select it, you'll notice up here in the property inspector it's a movie clip. And if you select the button, you'll notice it's a button up here. Now we're going to give this movie clip an instance name, like we did in the class, and we're going to call this Bob. And this is to enable the button to find Bob when we eventually do put a script on here to interact with the movie clip. So double click on your movie clip. So you'll notice that we've gone down into a level inside the movie clip grey circle, so it's showing here just below the timeline. So we're no longer on the top level. This timeline here is not the same timeline as you see when I click onto scene 1. It's the movie clip's timeline when we click down into it. So that's not to get confused with the, so it's really important that you don't get confused that it's the same timeline. They are separate timelines. Okay, so we're going to create we're going to insert a keyframe on frame 40, and we're going to edit it. I'm just going to squash it like we've been doing. And then we're going to right click on the first frame, and we're going to create a shape tween. And you'll notice that the timeline goes green, and there you have it. If you drag it along backwards and forwards, the shape tween works. Now, we don't want this animation to start playing from as soon as we launch the movie. So if we just launch the movie now, you'll see it just plays and just loops through the movie clip. And that's so what we're going to do is we're going to add a new layer. We're going to call this layer actions. And on the first frame, we're going to put, if you type in stop, worrying about we've got this code snippet switched on. Okay, so type in stop, open bracket, close bracket, and semicolon, and this will stop the movie from playing. So if we just publish preview this now, nothing happens now. And we haven't put a script on here yet to tell the movie clip to play. So we just close that now. So what we need to do now is we're going to need to go back to the top level, scene 1, and we notice this movie clip's called Bob, so we need to target this movie clip, and we're going to tell it to go to frame 2 and play, so the animation will then play. Okay, so we select our button, and we right click, and select actions. Now for this I'm going to switch on the code help. It's called something different in Flash 3, and I can't remember from the life of me at this moment, but it's this little button up here that you click. Okay, so if you select that, you'll see that the actions window changes. This big grey bar appears above it and everything. So if we go to the plus sign in the corner, global functions and timeline control, and then go to, so we want to go to and play, not go to and stop, and we want to go to and play frame 2, like that. Okay, so we've got it. When you use the code hint, it automatically puts the event handler on, which is the on release or on rollover or on drag over, all those different ones. If you actually select it there, it gives you the different options that you can do. You can have a key press or roll over or drag over or roll out, whatever. Okay, so it helps you in the way it puts the event handler on there, but as you get used to using Flash more, you'll be able to write your own event handlers just really quickly in no time at all. So okay, so we're going to switch off the code hint thing now, and we're going to search, if you want to, because what we want to do is we want this piece of script here that says go to and play 2, we want to search, we want to target the movie clip Bob to go to and to play 2, because it's no good the home timeline going to and to play, because there isn't a frame 2 on the home timeline. God, that's a bit of a mouthful, but you understand what I mean. So if you just click, put the cursor in front of the go to and play, and you notice here there's a little target, insert target path. Okay, and then it'll show you the route, which is the top level, and then these are the objects that sit on the top level. So we want to select Bob, because that's what we want to target, and we want to select its relative or absolute. Again, if you set it to absolute, this means you can move your button around the movie freely without having to reset the path to it. But if you're not going to move your buttons, you just may as well set it to relative. Okay, so let's click OK. So we need to put a dot in after that. If it's all black, it's all black. Object bracket this close bracket dot Bob go to and play 2. Then it's not working properly, because go to and play 2 is a flash function. Any flash functions are highlighted in blue. Okay, so now we've done that, we can just check to see if it's okay. There's no compiler errors there. And so this piece of script should now work. So let's just go to publish preview, and flash, and click, and there you have it. Your first piece of flash interactivity. Okay, and there'll be one to follow now.